Can you remind us of the rationale of this? How did this come about? Is this something that you were thinking and mulling over pre-pandemic that just suddenly got accelerated, or is this a complete disruption, a complete pivot of the strategies that the bank had in place?
Very good question, Danny. And in the banking industry, it's a very dynamic one. With greater digitalization nowadays, you might think that the merger came about only during the pandemic, but actually, because we are a wholly owned subsidiary of BPI, we have always been thinking about whether it is time to finally consolidate the two institutions. And we have seen some of the indicative parameters or stimulus to make us feel more confident that it is indeed time. One of which would be the declining reserve requirements for banks for quite some time now, even during the time of Governor Espinilla, as we very well know. He's very keen on reducing the reserve requirements of banks to make it more affordable and more accessible and increase the banked population. And so we've seen the gap between the thrift banks reserve requirements, which BPI family is enjoying, versus the universal banks, which our parent bank BPI had been at levels of as high as 18% in the past. But now it has come down to 12%, and the thrift banks have come down to 3%. And so the gap is actually narrowing. We've also seen as a stimulus increased digitalization. You know, Danny, in the last few years, you've known that BPI has been embarking as one group into a more digital bank. Our digital transformation had started way back 4 or 5 years ago. And we have actually seen the impact of those efforts. In 2019, the branch transactions have plateaued, and the digital transactions have increased in such a way that the digital transactions have already overtaken the number of branch transactions in our bank. Nowadays, in fact, the stimulus of the pandemic is one wherein people are forced to really stay at home and do their banking digitally online in the safety of their homes, such that our transactions in the digital space is actually now 90% relative to our branch transactions of 10%. So all the stimulus, all the signs have really made us more confident that it is time to finally merge the two institutions so that first and foremost, the goal of One BPI is to make the transactions of our clients more seamless in more branches with more products available. So, Danny, really, you mentioned that this pandemic had been a stimulus to many institutions, to many businesses. To us in BPI Group, it has been a stimulus to rethink our business models, to rethink the way that we deliver our service to our clients. So we have finally obtained the approvals, all the necessary regulatory approvals. Effective January 1 of this year, we are now One BPI. Now, you might ask what this means for our clients, as you had mentioned. Because it has to take an effect January 1, it means that we can now be more aggressive in terms of really migrating, integrating, and transitioning into becoming One BPI. We see that there will be a 1 year transition period, which I will call as migration, integration, transition period, MIT period, wherein the 1.2 million clients of BPI Family Savings Bank will be migrated into the BPI system. Similarly, all the products and services that we offer uniquely in BPI Family Banks, such as the auto loans and housing loans and kanegosyo loans, will be migrated into the BPI system. More importantly, the 162 branches of BPI Family Savings Bank, we will also make sure that we will expedite but carefully integrate into the BPI system. That means you will have to do it in tranches. because the overarching goal of the merger transition period is minimal disruption in our operations and minimal inconvenience to our clients. So, Danny, still a lot of work ahead of us in integrating, but we promise our clients that we will communicate to them regularly and we will make it as inconvenient, as effortless as possible.
Okay, Ms. Ginbee, good thing that you mentioned about your clients here and how that full migration is going to happen. But give us the details really on what changes should your clients expect. Where are they going to transact? What's going to happen to your branches? Where will they go? At the same time, in terms of terms and conditions, will there be changes as well, especially when it comes to their rights?
Thank you, Jess. To your last question, no changes to their rights. We are a wholly owned subsidiary of BPI, and BPI will honor all the terms and conditions that we had entered into, even under BPI Family Savings Bank. In terms of our branches, as also earlier mentioned, we will make sure that we will do this in tranches so that our clients will not be inconvenienced and that we are able to carefully learn from each and every tranche of conversion that we do, and all our resources will be devoted in very focused conversion of specific branches at any point in time. So we will make sure to communicate if it's their time, if it's their branch's time to be migrating or converting. We will inform them way ahead of time so that they can be prepared to do that. Now, the other question that you have is, what does this mean? Really minimal inconvenience to our clients. There will, however, be branches of Family Bank that will be consolidated into a BPI branch, which means that their account numbers will change. There will be some branches that will just be converted in terms of signage and system. Their account numbers will not change. But for those clients who will have a change in account numbers, rest assured that we will inform them of their new account numbers. And my recommendation, and hopefully our clients are already on online banking, have already enrolled in online banking, is to continue to check their online accounts so that they are abreast of the changes in the merger, in One BPI merger, and they would know what their new account numbers will be. Otherwise, everything else will remain the same until such time that we convert all the branches.
But Ginbee, do other clients as well have an option if they do really want to transition from a family savings bank account to a BPI account?
During the merger, during the time that we are converting branches, they may of course want to open a BPI account, right? And that is certainly very much welcome. Similarly, if they want to open an account in a BPI Family Savings Bank, the best way to really open accounts now is digitally. And the good thing is, as we had prepared for this pandemic way ahead of time with digitalization, our account opening is already easy. It's available online. So new to bank account opening, those who are not yet BPI depositors or BPI Family Savings Bank depositors can just open a deposit account very easily through our online app. Similarly, our existing clients can open another deposit account very easily, conveniently from the app of BPI.
Ma'am, let's talk about, BPI, of course, is a listed company, and shareholders are watching how this might impact the company in general. How would this create synergies? You already mentioned, digitalization. There might be a lot of investments also in this digitalization push. Will the benefits outweigh all the costs of restructuring, reorganization? When you're talking about it's quite a big operation here.
Well, definitely. We will not go ahead with this merger, Danny, and we can assure our investors without the approval of our shareholders and our investors. So we have done that, and they have seen the value, Danny, in this merger. Just imagine now BPI Family Savings Bank clients who used to only transact in the BPI Family Bank branches can now transact also in the rest of the BPI branches. So from 162 branches of BPI Family, they can now transact in the over 800 branches of BPI as a group. Also, in terms of products and services, I mentioned earlier, BPI Family has existing BPI Family Savings Bank unique products. Auto loans, housing loans, kanegosyo loans, our 5-year term deposit plan, which is a real hit for our individual retail clients. These are now also will be made available more easily and more conveniently in all BPI branches. So just imagine the value that we will unlock by doing so. And the seamless integration and convenience of our clients, they're actually already feeling it right now in the digital space and in the electronic space, like ATM, because they can transact in any ATM. What more if they can do this in all our branches? Lastly,
Go ahead.
and we are also, of course, eliminating redundancies in our operations, in our organization and organizational setups, and therefore that will lead to cost efficiencies. So
Yes, that was exactly my next question, ma'am. So, do you have a projection of the bottom line savings, perhaps a percentage of how this might improve the bottom line of the bank in general, and at the same time, how are will there be layoffs for employees? How are you going to handle this, especially during these times?
Danny, in terms of savings, we've always been a very cost-efficient bank. So you will know that our cost-to-income ratio is just hovering at around 50 to 52% at this time, and we will continue to find options by which we will be able to make sure that we deliver cost-effective products and services. So from a cost-save standpoint, Danny, we see this as a net offset of all the investments that we will be doing in our digital space, and also in terms of upgrading the capabilities of our people, because we will certainly invest more in our people, because with digitalization, the role of our branch personnel will change. They will no longer be transactional. They will be advisory. So in the savings that we will incur or realize in this merger will actually be put to better use, providing better advisory, providing more enhanced digital tools, and upgraded systems in our branches. As I mentioned earlier, there will be some branches of Family Bank and even BPI that are going to consolidate. With digitalization, you actually don't need as large a branch footprint. With consolidation, we will now upgrade the look, the feel, the capabilities online of our branches. So it's a net offset in terms of cost for us over the long term. Where we see really value is in unlocking the potential to do more cross-sell and encourage more people to be part of the bank population.